Mark Cuban is a billionaire. He owns the Dallas Mavericks, the NBA team. Like other NBA owners, Mark Cuban makes a lot of his money in China. And that's why, according to Mark Cuban, the non-genius billionaire, it's fine for China to commit genocide. They're good customers, says Mark Cuban. But when he takes a different position, he's disgusted by it. He wants to take a knee. That's how awful this country is.
If they were taking a knee and they were being respectful, I'd be proud of them. Hopefully, I join them because I think we've learned a lot since 2017. I think we've evolved as a country, and this is really a unique point in time where we can grow as a society, we can grow as a country and become far more inclusive.
Well, this week, in the name of inclusivity and making China happy, by the way, when you include people, it almost always means excluding them. Mark Cuban has decided that the national anthem can no longer be played before any home game in Dallas. The NBA initially supported this decision. But this afternoon, the NBA changed its mind. The league released a statement, quote, all teams will play the national anthem in keeping with longstanding league policy. Will Cain is the co-host of Fox & Friends Weekend. We're happy to have him on tonight. Will, good to see you.
Thanks, Tucker.
So it seems to me the NBA could have said, it's not just longstanding policy. We kind of appreciate the country where our sport was invented and that sustains us. Why not take the chance to kind of defend America in the face of the attack on it?
Because that would be unfashionable, Tucker. The fashionable point of view, and the one that Mark Cuban seems to have adopted, perhaps because some of his employees hold this point of view, perhaps some of his players hold this point of view, but it's certainly a radical point of view, is that America is irredeemably flawed, that we're defined by our original sin of slavery and the residual racism. And so it's fashionable to believe that America's symbols, her flag, her national anthem, therefore, are politically divisive. Of course, you and I know that's not true. I think most people know that's not true, that the United States is a unique experiment in human history. We're defined by our aspirations, our goals, by our documents like the Constitution. And ultimately, Tucker, we know those are unifying elements, unifying symbols. But Mark seems to have adopted this idea, and it's totally dictated by the terms of the left, that the United States, its symbols are divisive, that we see the worst in America, and therefore we must cancel all of these symbols that the rest of us see as our aspirations and our unifying factors. That's why they won't take a principled stand.
I think that's really smart and nicely expressed. I mean, those symbols amount to our culture, and our culture is the only thing that unites us. I mean, without a common culture, what do we have at that point?
Right. And I'll tell you something more than that. Part of that culture is sports. I love sports, Tucker. If you know anything about me, you know I came from the world of sports. I believe it brings us together across racial barriers, across socioeconomic barriers. We arbitrarily root for these ridiculous jerseys and laundry that we grew up around. I love the Mavericks. By the way, I'm coming to you live from Dallas. I'm from the DFW area. I'm a lifelong Mavericks fan. I suffered through the 90s